What's going on, guys? I'm coming at you guys with a different type of video today. So today is Saturday, and usually on the weekends is when we go and catch up on our grocery shopping. So as you guys can see, I just got back from a grocery haul, and I thought it would be pretty cool to kind of show you guys what it all is that I bought today. We went to 3 grocery stores today: Walmart, Aldi, and Trader Joe's, and I figured I would go store by store and show you guys what I got at each place. All right, so I'm gonna start off with Walmart because Walmart is where I got the bulk of my groceries. Walmart really has a lot of great prices on a lot of really basic stuff. The only thing that I don't really like to get at Walmart is my protein sources, like my meats. I just find that my meats taste a little better when I get them at a different grocery store. I'm not necessarily saying that Walmart's meats are lower quality or anything. In fact, I don't really know anything about the quality of the meat at any of these grocery stores and whether one is better or not than the other. But it is coming down to a personal taste preference, and I just find that beef and chicken and things like that taste better at other grocery stores compared to Walmart. So let's get right into this. First thing we got at Walmart is no surprise to anybody if you've been following me for a while, and that is Cocoa Pebbles. I buy the off-brand ones for 2 reasons. One, they make them in this big 65-ounce bag, and I eat a ton of these, so I like to have a lot on hand. And 2, it's just a lot cheaper for me to get the off-brand stuff than the actual Cocoa Pebbles, and I don't really notice that there's much of a taste difference. Next up is this bag here, and inside we have got some frozen banana. Is it cheaper for me to buy raw bananas and cut them up? Yeah, probably. Am I gonna take the time to do that? Probably not. Next up is frozen pineapple. This is one of my favorite fruits. I eat this every single day post-workout. Pineapple also has a digestive enzyme in it called bromelain, which is helpful for digesting protein. That's a little bit of a cherry on top when it comes to pineapple. I just really like eating pineapple after a workout. Ground turkey cutlets. I may be tripping or I may be living under a rock or something, but I think this may be one of the first times that I have seen turkey in the store that isn't ground or it isn't the whole bird. I don't know if you guys can tell, but these are really thinly sliced, kind of like chicken breast tenderloins. If you guys have been kind of keeping up with my content for the past couple of days, you may be aware of the fact that I really can't eat chicken right now. It's causing me a lot of digestive problems, and so I have since switched to turkey, and I've been eating ground turkey, so I figured that I would pick these up and see if they taste a little different or if they cook a little different than ground turkey. This next bag has got a couple different things in it that I normally get. So I have this Mott's apple juice, and this is 100% pineapple juice. So the reason why I got these is because my appetite has really been struggling lately. And up until this point in my bodybuilding life or career, whatever word it is that you want to use, I have really refrained from using liquid calories because I think that liquid calories are typically empty calories that don't provide you anything. However, in the instance of someone who has a struggling appetite, I would wholeheartedly recommend using liquid calories. And so that is why I picked these up. My appetite is really struggling right now, and so if I can cut back on the amount of rice and potato that I'm eating and just drink juice and still get the carbohydrates in, then I would much rather prefer to do that than force feed myself with food. I want to make it very clear that when I recommend that you drink liquid calories, I think that the quality and the source of those liquid calories is very important. So I don't think that you should be drinking shit like fruit punch and all of these other fruit juices that have sugar and corn syrups added. This apple juice here, for example, is from Mott's. It's 100% juice. The only ingredients that it has in it is water, apple juice concentrate, and vitamin C. That is literally it. And then this pineapple juice is the same exact thing. It is water, pineapple juice, and vitamin C. So when I am using liquid calories, I like to use fruit juice sources that have the least amount of ingredients and no added bullshit. And then I also picked these up. These are from Kinder's, which is kind of, to my knowledge, they're kind of a well-known seasoning and barbecue brand. I'm not really sure what it is that they specialize in, but I see a lot of sauces and seasonings from these guys put out. I picked up these little sample packets because I didn't really want to buy a whole big tub of each of these seasonings and find out that I don't like them. As I mentioned, my appetite is kind of struggling, so I'm trying to get creative with seasonings and condiments and stuff to help make the food go down a little bit easier. So I've got the carne asada, the taco blend, and the fajita blend. So I'm excited to use these, especially with the turkey, because I have been finding lately that the turkey has really been a struggle to get down. So I'm just kind of trying to find different ways to make it taste different and keep the monotony out. Okay, last bag from Walmart here, so let's dig into it. First thing is this Calrose rice. So I typically buy my rice in 20-pound bags because I eat a shitload of rice. I mean, I eat so much of it, it's absolutely ridiculous. I prefer the Calrose rice to really any other type of rice except maybe jasmine rice. The last time that I went to the store about a week ago, I bought a 20-pound bag of jasmine rice because they did not have a 20-pound bag of the Calrose rice. But I found myself a couple times this week really thinking like, man, I wish I had some Calrose rice. So I figured that I would pick up a 5-pound bag so that depending on the day and depending on my mood, I can either make jasmine rice or this Calrose rice. For those of you that may be thinking rice is rice, you are definitely wrong on that. Calrose rice and jasmine rice, in my opinion, are definitely the most superior forms of rice. They have the best taste and the best texture, in my opinion. Continuing on with the seasoning kick. So we've got lemon pepper here. I really like to use lemon pepper on my fish and my salmon. I'll occasionally use the lemon pepper on poultry like chicken or turkey, but this is mainly for fish. I eat some wild-caught salmon every rest day, and I love to put lemon pepper on that particular meal. I have rotisserie chicken here. This is a McCormick seasoning, Pitch Perfect. I've used this one before a lot of times, big fan of it. It's pretty versatile. It goes on beef, it goes on chicken, it goes on a lot of different things. So picked this one up to have on hand. And then as I mentioned earlier, the Kinders, these are the bigger tubs of their seasoning. This is the wood-fired garlic one. This one is incredible. This one, as I mentioned with the McCormick one, it goes good on pretty much anything. My girlfriend and I will put this on literally anything. This one is really good. Highly recommend this one. Also picked up some staple things. So I've got iodized sea salt here and I've got some no salt. I salt and no salt all of my meals. So when I use salt, I prefer to use iodized sea salt because iodized sea salt contains iodine, which is a very important mineral for your thyroid function. If you guys have seen my blood work video on my website, you guys may be familiar with the fact that my thyroid levels run a little high. I personally think that is because I use a lot of iodine, which helps keep my metabolism and my thyroid functioning properly. And then no salt, as the name implies, this is actually not salt at all. This is pure potassium. Potassium has a ton of health benefits and a ton of performance benefits. But it is one of those foods where if you don't make a conscious effort to eat foods that are high in potassium, you are unlikely to get the amount of potassium that you need to get those benefits. So I just find that I like to use this and I like to put this on all of my meals with the salt just to help me get a little extra potassium in the day. Last thing we picked up from Walmart is a pretty staple condiment of mine. This is the fat-free Italian dressing. Very, very macro-friendly. For every 30 grams, it's only 15 calories and 3 grams of carbs. I kind of go back and forth between the Kraft brand and the Wishbone brand. Today I went with the Wishbone brand. They do have a little bit different tastes in my opinion. It's just kind of based on a mood which one that I will choose. So this is my last bag here. This has all of my stuff from Trader Joe's and Aldi in it. Where I live, the Trader Joe's and the Aldi are literally right next door to each other. So I just combined everything in one bag. Plus the fact that when I go to both of these grocery stores, I'm really only getting a couple things from each one. So I don't really have a ton of stuff in here, but I will show you what we got regardless. So starting off with Aldi, I got 2 things at Aldi. The first thing is eggs. So I prefer to eat pasture-raised eggs compared to any other form of egg, simply because the chickens and hens that lay these eggs have access to a pasture, which is going to be more natural for them than being kept in a cage. I preferably would like eggs that are also vegetarian fed. These ones say they're vegetarian fed. Are they really? I don't know. I'm not there on the farm seeing what's actually going on. But if you guys want to know the difference between a pasture-raised egg and a lot of the normal eggs will have a sort of yellowish yolk. When you crack these pasture-raised eggs, the yolks are a deep, dark orange. And I believe that that's because of the higher amounts of choline and omega-3s that are in the pasture-raised eggs. I am from a family of farmers, so both my parents, my grandparents on both sides farmed, and then I have a lot of people in my family that still farm. So I have eaten eggs that are literally fresh from the chicken's ass, and they look like this. They have a deep, dark orange yolk. And so when I see eggs that have a yellow yolk, I'm kind of put off by that. In my opinion, that means that they don't have the same amount of vitamin and mineral density that the pasture-raised eggs use. So I get my pasture-raised eggs from Aldi because they have the best price on them. Last thing that I got from Aldi is chicken bone broth. So as I have mentioned a couple times now, my appetite is really struggling lately. One of the things that I like to do when my appetite gets bad is put bone broth on my meals for a couple reasons. One, bone broth is a great source of glutamine and glucosamine, so it can be very helpful for your joints, and it can be very good for your stomach. Some of you guys may be familiar that bone broth is a home remedy that a lot of people will recommend for digestive health and gut health. So I like to keep this in for that, but also it makes the meals easier to eat. If I've got a big bowl of beef and rice or turkey and rice, and I put half of a cup or a cup of this on the meal, it obviously makes the food wet, and when the food is wet, it's a lot easier for me to eat than trying to force down dry meat and dry sticky rice. So this kind of turns it into a soup. I don't like to use like a ton of liquid to where all the food is like sitting in standing water or standing bone broth, but I like to use enough where it kind of moistens all the food and makes it easier to eat. So this is a staple for me when my appetite gets low. From there we go to Trader Joe's, and Trader Joe's is where I get a lot of my protein sources other than the pasture-raised eggs. So first things first, 96% lean ground beef. I have eaten almost every single 96, 97% lean ground beef from every single brand out there on the market, and hands down, Trader Joe's is definitely the best. My girlfriend is someone that I consider a normal person. She doesn't like track macros or I don't want to say she doesn't care about what she eats, but she's not like a bodybuilder like I am, who is like really strict about it. And my girlfriend will make burgers out of this beef and eat them. There is something about Trader Joe's 96% lean beef that tastes so much better than all of the other brands. Walmart, Aldi, you name the grocery store, I've tried all of them. They're all super fucking dry, and they get really hard to eat after a while, except for Trader Joe's. So this is definitely the best stuff beef-wise that you can get, in my opinion. As I mentioned earlier, I am no longer eating chicken and I'm eating turkey, so I just picked up a couple pounds of 99% lean ground turkey from Trader Joe's. They have the best price on it. And also, Aldi did not have any 99% ground turkey today, so I just decided to pick this up. Between this and the turkey cutlets that I showed earlier, I'm going to kind of be experimenting over the next couple days with some seasonings and some sauces and some cooking methods, and trying to find a way to where I can really eat this ground turkey and have no problems with it. And the last thing that I got from Trader Joe's, which is a staple, is their wild-caught Alaskan sockeye salmon. So as I mentioned earlier, I eat wild-caught salmon every rest day. I would eat it every single day if I could afford it, but wild-caught salmon is very expensive. This stuff here is $13.99 a pound, so it's really expensive, but it is an incredible protein source. Wild-caught salmon is a massive source of omega-3s and a natural source of omega-3s, so it has a ton of health benefits. It's relatively lean. For every 4 ounces is 25 grams of protein and 5 grams of fat, so you can fit it in even on a low-fat diet. and I just prefer to eat this a couple times a week because of the health benefits of it. As I mentioned, I would eat this every single day if I can afford it, but I currently cannot afford to eat this every day. It's really, really expensive, but it tastes good, and I want to get the benefits of it, so I just eat it sporadically on every single rest day. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like this type of video, if this is something that you guys enjoy. I will start to do on a more regular basis. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section or send me a DM. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching.